We hit it. We live, everybody.
We're live. I even got a notification this time, Frank. That's awesome.
Of course you didn't. Oh, Cranky's already starting his shit. What, I forget to wind my watch? Yeah, exactly. Forgot the grandfather clock on the wall. I forgot to turn the key. Hey, let me send you.
Got our mind on our money and our money on our mind.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, we're gonna start that already. Get me all wound up. All right, let's get this going here. There you go.
What are we talking about, Frank?
Huh? Well, first off, I'd like to welcome Travis to the channel. First time you've been over here. That's why I named it tonight. We're gonna have an overdose of Travis.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, Frank's been on my show so many times. I felt bad that I.
Yeah, this is this is a pity fuck.
No, this is me being very happy to be invited. So thank you very much.
No problem. And we got Liana back. She decided to join us again. We didn't scare her off yet, so.
Give us time.
Yeah. Let's give some shout outs to the chat.
I think she went hunting today.
It looks like it. You got some camo going there. Some hunting on the strip.
Okay. It was motorcycle day.
Okay.
And it's like not cold and it's not warm. It was like 80 something degrees. And that's why I had this on, because I have helmet head severe and I got a full face. So I've totally smashed my hair.
But the idea of riding a bike, aren't you meant to be kind of high vis, not blend into the asphalt?
Right. But it's like a helmet and I don't wear a do-rag. So this is motorcycle day. How it was.
There we go.
It's a really old shirt. I kind of like it.
We have a new mixer in the chat, CS Blue.
Oh, cool.
Or Boo. No, I can't read.
CS Blue?
Yes. And he was in the chat in the previous show, and I think he's in Florida. I think it's a he. I'm sorry if you're a she. Let me know.
Hey, we don't assume gender around here.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I identify as a mixer.
There we go.
I respect that choice.
yeah, we have a new mixer. We have a new mixer, a brand new mixer. And maybe that's what I should say, not a he or she. A new mixer.
There we go. Let's give some shout outs. We got V-Dog. What's up, V-Dog? We got Graham out there. My Peeps. Or Willoughby, Fidalgo. Smokey's in the chat.
Smokey.
Let's see. CS Baloo. Yeah, in Florida, not actually mixing yet, though. Prepping to mix. Well, let's see. Get all your notes together. Let's see. James Rivera. Michael Morris is out there. Simon's in the chat.
Oh, don't start with me, Kat.
Lando. Oh, yeah, I had to shoe mine because she's already like, oh, Daddy's home. I see Ronnie Rasmussen out there. You know, so I already yelled at Cranky for being already starting to get on me, trying to be
cranky.
That's right.
Oh, you were told already you're cranky?
No, Cranky was telling me that I was running late.
Oh shit. Okay, never mind.
Cranky was being cranky, but then he lives in Jersey, so you know, I'll give it to him.
To be expected.
Forget about it.
Exactly. Forget about it. I see Tony Laura out there rooting on his 4-0 Patriots. So I guess see if they're even playing tomorrow. Lori's out there. What's going on, Lori? Haven't seen you since like this afternoon. I think she was on Fresh's stream earlier. Oh, Smokey's wiggling on Graham's lap. Oh, you might not want to do that because you may catch something you can't get rid of.
Whoa.
Couple antibiotics, you'll be all right.
Yeah, you know, put a little blue cheese on it. The penicillin will take care of it.
That is brutal.
Oh, burn! if we were holding Mike, she'd be just doing that.
There you go. I see now.
What's going on, Jeff Lawson? Let's see. Michael, let's see. CS Blue applied to join but hasn't been accepted yet. And what's that? Vaping Truckers? Someone get on that.
Yeah, no. I think I took care of that one. I think you are accepted.
Oh, and Ronnie's saying he approved it. Okay.
Dude,
I want to. This is my personal expertise. Yes, you definitely can get rid of chlamydia.
You can.
Good to know. Good to know, man. Good to know.
You might not know that you have it. It's one of those sneaky deaky things. So
It's a sneaky one.
They can all sterilize your ass. So be careful.
That's why I just keep antibiotics stock at the house
Is that
a couple times a week.
Right.
Oh,
Wow.
We're starting on a high note. Are we going to move to the gutter? we can move to the gutter anytime, I guess.
Dude, it's on.
We're halfway there.
Exactly.
If you're happy and you know it, clap. God, you guys are on a roll. This is the best chat ever. I can't even mix. This is so funny. I love it.
It really warms my heart to still see people using the word "the clap."
Yeah, it's
The clap is an
that's-
old
yeah,
school.
that's
forever
definitely
time.
we're definitely aging ourselves there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I was trying to be nice. So
Wow.
So I can see people using Claptons.
There you go.
That's one of my favorite coils right there.
And
It's
I
a
guess,
good
I
old
guess
clap.
if it's a little rough, that's why they're fused Claptons.
That means it's like permanently like that, right?
if you've had it for a while, it becomes a fused clap.
Exactly. Yeah.
Uses to everything.
Okay,
Oh,
let's.
shit.
What are we doing?
All right, let's go up. Let's go up from
Yeah,
here.
let's go.
Woo!
Oh,
making?
there's Steve-O. Steve-O will put us back in line. He's out there in
Feeling- Oh my god.
pitchfork. Oh, jeez.
Seriously. Hey, Steve-O.
Good day,
Oh my-
Stalker. Yeah, I'll go back and catch some of the replay of Mike's show earlier. I was had dinner and I had to shower, shave. I didn't want to go in here looking homeless. Well, at least I got home at a half decent time today. Not early, but half decent time. Only worked like 75 hours this week, so
And you almost look like you're not home.
yeah, almost.
It's been slow the last few weeks. It's really weird at the salon. Like, but I got a lot of stuff done here. Or
Yeah.
organize some stuff. I got a new shelf.
Oh,
It's
there you
party.
go.
You want some? Here you go.
Well, I must say I've achieved nothing this week at all.
That's what I got.
Absolute donuts.
This
You
week,
achieved
Kids on
donuts?
school holidays, in-laws visiting, mothers visiting. It's
Oh
just
yeah, that'll do it.
yeah, it did. It did. It pretty much meant I could do nothing.
Smokey's getting a new mech set. Uh-oh.
Nice.
Ooh.
I like the
What are you
pa-
getting, Smokey?
I like the pause there. She was about to blow, and then she had some funds on a new mech set. Well, that's one way you pay for it too. So, what's up, Squirrel?
God bless. God bless. We just can't get off the clap. And that's
No.
rude.
Nah, it just stays with you.
Yeah.
Clap. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. Oh my god.
You're making me itch. Just stop.
Awesome.
That reminds me when I went to I had a toothache so bad and I couldn't get to the dentist. I had to go to my family physician. So he gives me a shot in the ass, no, mind you. And it was an antibiotic. And when I go read what the antibiotic was, I go read that it cures like chlamydia, like all of these sexually transmitted diseases. But it also like helps with toothaches. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, well, if I had a disease, I'm going to be cured.
There you
You're
go.
covered.
Covered.
It's
I'm covered.
broad spectrum.
In case the dog goes out and gets crazy on her own and brings something back home, you're safe.
Yeah. Of course, it's not long lasting. It just helps for the time. So, I'm not covered now.
Keep your bitch in the house.
I'm just reading chat and having a laugh.
Yeah.
We just sit here, let him talk and watch it.
Yes. See,
Honest,
Nancy's
dude.
out there in the chat. It's probably raining and cold up there in Newfoundland, like it always is. 365.
I lost my cotton.
A moment of
Oh,
silence, please. Oh, shit,
motherfuckers.
man. That sucks, Fernaldo.
Oh no, what happened?
His vape shop, that guided him making the switch is closing up.
Oh, shit.
No way.
Here it is.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Even if your state is not banning banning shit, because of the media scare, shops
Yeah.
are going under left and right because people are afraid. Because they, especially, I've always said if something doesn't grow,
What?
it dies. So if you don't
Grandma
have,
is shutting down.
oh shit.
Sorry.
Horrible.
Well, they sent a thing about this 50% off sale once, all kinds of like,
I
it was
can't
in
buy
nuts and
it.
stuff. I saw
Anytime
that.
like right now, if you're seeing these shops having these like 75% off sales,
It's because they're liquidating. Yeah.
goodbye. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's
Well,
just a
Gremlin's
shame.
a, Gremlin's a DIY site,
Wow.
but they're out of Washington.
Ugh. So I went to my local shop to ask some questions, and her business has declined. She said roughly by about 80%. And
Oh,
mind
yeah.
you, there's no ban here,
Yeah.
totally open, but it's just the scare. It's just it's
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
People aren't going to buy
Yeah.
stuff.
My mom was telling me that 2 of my cousins quit vaping. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know they vaped. That's And she's like, yeah, but they took their cigarettes back up. I'm like, well, what the fuck?
Oh.
What,
God.
Yeah, I was
what
talking.
good is that?
I was talking
That-
to
that is-
my one
that is
daughter
bad.
today. One of my adult daughters, and she does have a box mod, but she's been with work and with school and everything. She was using a Juul. She was in college and taking classes.
Mhm.
She just got certified as an X-ray tech. So she's been hitting the Juul mostly. And she's like, she goes, yeah, I do it a little bit. I go through a pod a day. I'm like, that's doing a little more than a little bit.
That's not a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I mean, we don't have Juul over here. You can buy a Juul, but you can't buy any of the pods. So you have to import. You have to import them, and a Juul costs $70 Australian over here.
Yeah, and you can go to the gas station here and get a setup for like 15. I think it even comes with a pod.
Yeah, I think the problem is that high nick level.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, I can't pass judgment. I'm not an American. But all the statistics that they're rolling out constantly. You look at all the countries where Juul is not available, have totally different statistics.
Yeah.
It's and it tells me that kids aren't vaping for flavors; they're vaping for a head rush.
Oh, it's for the buzz,
Yeah.
exactly.
Simple as that.
It's just like when we took up cigarettes. We were doing it for one to be cool, and two, you got especially when you very first started smoking. As soon as you figured out how to inhale, oh yeah, you're getting that nick, that head rush.
Whoa!
Oh yeah.
Yep.
As soon as you couldn't
Absolutely.
pick up on it, that's how I was when I was 15. But from what I understand about Juul, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, they made those initial amounts and then they submitted all their paperwork on it and couldn't change it, but they wanted to. But because they submitted the paperwork that way, which is hard you think of how much money they spent, okay, submitting all this to get it passed, and they can afford it, and yet even they didn't want to go back and resubmit all this stuff.
Here's the thing.
They didn't want to keep the
Look
That
at
was
the,
just
look
their
at the
initial
look at the IQOS.
rate.
It cost Philip Morris, I think, just for the PMTA, $30 million to
Yeah.
get the IQOS through, and it was how many 100,000 pages of documentation?
It's about 400,000, something like that.
Yeah,
So
pages.
you're not going to go and change the amounts, but I heard they didn't want to keep 50.
Well,
They-
I believe that in other countries, not America, you can get step downs for Juuls.
30, you get
Like, can
30,
get
You
30
can
and
get
20.
30
And,
here.
20.
I can go to the
So-
gas station and get 30,
Yeah,
but
you can
nothing
get 30
lower.
here too.
If
Yeah.
we off this PMTA process, then I see him like hopefully changing that and having a good triation scale.
Well, the best thing that's going to happen, the best case scenario isn't that it's going to go away, because it's not going to go away. But the initial, what they originally said was 2022, and then that judge in Maryland, that was the American Academy of Pediatrics.
pediatrics.
And
Yeah.
then, and also all the PAVE groups and all that bullshit, they were all on board with that, and that judge caved to them and said, oh no, that took away the extension. But now another judge has opened it back up to where
Yep.
where
Giving the
they-
VTA power to intervene so
Yeah.
they can actually appeal it.
I think best
and
best thing we're looking at is it could get pushed back to 2022. It's
Yeah.
not
The
going to
best
go
thing
away.
It's-
we're looking at is that it's going to get squashed.
Well,
I have high hopes and I dream big. I'm not
but-
giving up
Look,
on
I
that.
mean, what you guys and us, because there's a flow down here as well,
Yeah.
like the shit's rolling downhill. but the best I think we can as vapers hope for is a massively changed landscape.
Yeah.
It's going to change the landscape totally, and you're going to get an influx of bigger companies taking over all the small businesses that are vaping right now.
Yeah, you're going to see a consolidation just because, just like what we were talking about a couple weeks ago when India basically went under when it came to vaping, is we're going to see the small manufacturers in China having to consolidate, or they're going to shut down, because when you lose 60% of your business,
it's massive.
It's just like these shops here. You know, they're losing 60, 70, 80% of their business. They're either going to have to consolidate or they're going to shut down. I mean, that's what's unfortunately, and you can blame the fucking Bloomberg liberal media for that.
Yep. Look, I mean, and what's happening down here is our media is still reporting on vaping. They haven't gone, you know, they're not dropping out the illegal THC cuts pretty much anywhere. They're still harping on vaping, and of course, Greg misspelled Hunt has bitten into that as far as he can chew, and he's running with it, and he's our health minister, and you know, it's just it just sucks at the moment over here.
It's pretty bad that us Americans actually know who the health minister is in Australia.
Well, I'm just going to do a little share screen, because Legalised Vaping put out probably one of the best little things on their Facebook page, which I really like.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
So I thought that was pretty damn awesome, just quietly.
Oh, absolutely.
No, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that was worth me closing the chat down for a second so I can see the full picture.
Me too.
Yeah. But look, he is such a rabid anti-vape, anti-smoke. He's in farmers, you know, court all the way.
Oh,
You know, and the Australian government have just paid out $150 million to the Australian National University to do a 2-year study on vaping, just to come up with whatever Greg Hunt has said that they want to come up with. You know, it's so 2 years down the track, they're going to come up and they'll support everything that Greg Hunt's been saying, undoubtedly.
Yeah, basically, you're gonna say who's paying you.
Yeah,
you're gonna say their agenda.
This is what we want you to find. If you could find that, that'd be great. If you don't find that, we're never going to release it.
That's like I have to go back and see if I can find it. I'm wondering if it didn't release yet, because the other day, Ron Peoples, he's he's a member of the North Carolina Vaping Coalition. I believe he's a member of VTA. He owns BMF Labs, and he has a local shop here in Greensboro. And he was being interviewed by the local NBC affiliate, and it was supposed to come out yesterday, but I don't think it did, because I didn't see anybody share the video of the news story. And from what I gather, it got rather animated towards the end of it, where everyone's like, "Oh shit, Ron's gonna knock this guy out," and this guy's like very well respected journalist in here in this area, and apparently he's sort of showing his ass a little bit, because I guess he has a little bit of an anti-vaping agenda, and like one of his employees was doing it Facebook Live, but he was too far away to actually hear what was being said, but you could just tell by the body language that they were getting ready to throw down. I wouldn't have, if I was Ron, I wouldn't have, though, just for the simple fact that the cameraman was about 6'5" and about 260, and Ron's about my size, maybe a little bit shorter, so I don't think Ron.
You get the first couple in, but after that, it might turn to Custard.
Yeah, exactly. Sin, what's up, Sin girl?
But mate, look, I mean, it's hard to stay polite with all this shit that's just raining down. It is just so hard to just not go fuck and let go. And
what do we do? What do we do at this point? We don't have the fucking money to fight back against what they're throwing at us. We just don't.
No.
Yep.
So
You know, and I mean, realistically, you know, if every vapor in the US and Australia put in $10, we still wouldn't be able to match them.
No.
You know, like,
Insane.
yeah, Greg Hunt, for example, is $150 million of taxpayers' money. Let's just throw that out there. You know, there's 250,000, maybe 300,000 vapors in Australia. You know, there's absolute donuts chance of you know, raising that sort of coin to get anything done down here. So, and he won't even speak to anyone. He will not engage with any advocates, with anyone in the vaping industry. He just won't talk to anyone, you know. So he's got his idea and he's just running with it. He, you know, and a quote that springs to mind is so what?
Well,
You know,
Sin,
Motorcycle back models, so I can carry it with me.
yeah, Sin, YouTube did do some default thing where they hold certain phrases now for review, so it's probably what's happening.
all right,
And
I will try to mind my language.
No, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I mean, just, you know, the mods just approve it. You know, the wrenches approve it. It's no big deal.
Yeah, there you go. Look, CL just mentioned something the Vaporize are doing on one particular line, juice, particular.
Oh wow, is that Simon or is that Eric? So you kind of like roboted
Am I-
there for a second.
Am I roboting out? No, sorry, mate.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I'm still okay. Yeah, Vaporize, who were in South Australia but now have moved to Victoria because of the stupid South Australian vaping laws.
Yeah.
They've got a 60 ml bottle of juice that you can buy, I think, for $5, and every single cent of that $5 goes to advocacy. So jump on that. Steve-O's just put Vaporize in the chat.
Yeah.
So you know, they'll direct it where as they see fit, which is fine, because it's basically them donating money, which is great. So there are a few of and they're probably one of the biggest suppliers in Australia. Bogan actually used to work in their shop. He might still work in their shop over in South Australia. So you know, to the Australians, pop by Vaporize and throw $5 if you don't want to throw $5 directly, but you get a free bottle of juice for doing it. So off you go. It's a nice little initiative.
Yeah, one thing we have getting ready to kick off here, I guess it's in 5 weeks, November 9th. I may not be doing a show that day, or I may just be doing something live from in front of the White House, because that is we're having a big rally in Washington. Let's see if I can find the link.
What?
That's the one that Matt Salter and the boys from the Legion are organising.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
everyone-
on Wednesday, right?
No, it's on a Saturday. It's on a
Yeah,
Saturday.
it's on a Saturday. Yes.
On a Saturday.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yeah,
dude.
the meeting
That's
the
like
meeting
my
spot's like
big
2 blocks from the White House.
Okay, and it's a big payday, but I'm thinking about I want to go to. If it was just a little bit closer, I would so ride my motorcycle, but then the trip would take me like 4 days.
Yeah, that would take you a minute.
Flying out back and forth from between here and there, I'm wondering how much it would cost. I'm gonna look into it.
If
Yeah.
you contact them, they are organising buses. So you might be able to get all the guys from your local that they might actually be going and get everyone to bunk in, because everyone needs to put their feet on the deck. I actually considered doing it, and then I got told I wasn't allowed to by the handbrake. But I'm in Australia. I've got a little bit of skin in the game, but not to travel to the States for a rally.
The thing is, those are my lucrative days. If I'm gonna go, I'm gonna fly in, fly out because of the hair business and how it falls. You know what I mean? Like, those are the biggest money days on Friday and Saturday.
I'm gonna put the link
I don't
in
care
there.
where I sleep. I'll sleep in a
Felix,
sleeping
what's
bag.
up, brother?
But yeah, look, everyone really needs to consider going, and please, like, the more bums on seats, feet on the ground that are there, then the more chance it has of having a big impact.
There we
And,
go. I just put the link out in chat. You can donate there, and there's more information there. It's the Vapors Alliance.
It's really important. Numbers are so important when it comes to these kind of things. If they just get a group
absolutely.
of like 20 people standing around, That's just a joke, you know.
Yeah,
And,
no, we need more than just like 500. We need like thousands.
Now, with the donate link, they were having issues, I think, with PayPal holding funds until it was confirmed. So just if you do donate, watch your email. You may get a secondary email from PayPal with a link that you have to click on to confirm it or something along those lines.
Okay.
No, I want to just give. I'll donate. I'll do my vape. I'll start saving up my vape tithe. So the next.
Yeah. So yeah. Look, if you can't make it, throw a bit of money so someone can. So
Yeah.
So it's the GoFundMe one, right?
No, well, that's right. You should donate to that too. Yeah, the Vapers Alliance.
Yeah, right. Rise fundraiser's over $8,000 now.
which is amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I mean it doubled in a week. I mean, this will
Okay,
help. This will
find
help his
about it.
wife. It'll help. What's her name? May, I think. It'll help.
May.
Yeah, help her with, just sure bills because I'm sure he was. I don't know what her finance, what kind of job or anything she had, but I was a breadwinner and. I'm sure she needs
half their income is definitely cut in half
Yeah.
immediately.
There was like so many links. It says it can't load it right now. There it comes. Got it. Okay, I marked it.
Also, this is just another thing, another reason why losing Rye was so devastating. He was vital when it comes to stuff like this, fundraising and just advocacy. He was so amazing.
Huge. And like with the Coil one, he was part of the Build Mafia.
Mhm.
They ran fundraisers for people in need all the time. Yeah, thanks, Stevo. Appreciate you, bud. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you beat a Toonie tonight because I don't see Toonie out there, but then it is his anniversary, so he's probably having it. That's right. I think I did hear him say on Fresh's show earlier. Him and the missus were going out tonight for the anniversary. So.
Nice. You muted, Tam?
Yeah, you're muted, Tam.
Oh shit! Sorry.
He did it again.
I thought you were talking to John or something in the background. So.
No, but
Samich.
I head out a few minutes early just because it is his 50th birthday.
Oh, John. Oh, there's Toonie. What was?
There he
Oh,
is.
today's John's birthday.
You call his name and he shows up.
Yeah.
Didn't even have to say it 3 times.
I know, right?
Beetle Toonie, Beetle Toonie, Beetle Toonie.
Aw.
I'm expecting him to drop by here. He's not here though. Oh, good. But yeah, look, guys, if you can't make the trip, for sure, throw some money to it. So someone who has got the ability to get there, because we need feet there. So
Yeah, there's a few people around here asking in the Custard group for North Carolina if they can hitch a ride with people, and
But where is this gonna be?
it's in DC. It's right in front of the White
Oh,
House.
shit.
The meeting spot is 14 something Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest, which is 2 blocks from the White House. So I guess that's where the meeting, everyone's going to meet, and it's at the Ellipse. Because I think there's...
So I think is it the 11th or the 9th? I think it's the 11th,
No, it's
isn't
the
it?
9th.
Oven timer's
No, it
going
is the 9th. Okay. Yeah.
11-9, yeah.
Yeah, the reverse of the announcement, 9/11.
Yeah. I think, yeah, that's ironic. Yeah, that's right. Hashtag be like Rye. Exactly.
Exactly. I wish I'm trying to be more like Rye. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm trying to be less of a dick and more of a nicer person.
It's not working,
It's not
Frank.
working out for you.
No, I said try. I didn't say I was
Yeah.
succeeding, but putting out an effort.
Well, if you put in an effort, you got to get points for that
Yeah.
when it
yeah,
comes down to it. Don't have to succeed as long as you try.
Yeah.
Wait, I said something to John this morning. He said, "Where is this bottle of something?" He said, "Oh, I think I put it in your vape room." And I said, "Yeah, remember that day you were being an asshole and you had to put it in there?" He said, "Wait, just a minute. That day," he says, "I'm always an asshole." I said, "You said it, I didn't."
I was going to say, that could have been 3 years ago, Tam,
It could have
because girls remember that shit.
earlier. So
Yeah, just when arguing with a female, if they start off with firstly, just give up. You've lost. They've got a list.
oh, I'm good at that. Well, first, yeah, number one, yeah.
You leave the room and you come back and there are 243. You know.
You just say,
First
let's
off,
just
you
skip the
left
last
your phone
lane.
in my car.
My brain is not organized to get past like 3 things on the list. So after that, I just squirrel anyway, even if I'm
Oh,
pissed.
my first one's usually pretty big enough. So
This mine just goes all over like this. Lost argument. My
Oh,
house
just
smells
give
so good. I just slow baked ribs for like 2 hours. I had to go shut the oven off, and I'm just smelling it. It smells so good. I'm hungry.
So Travis,
I'm hungry.
Did you get that Bull City order in? Did you mix up the cereal vape for
So I got my Bull City order in, mixed up some e-liquid, realized that I had just enough nicotine to do hers and not mine. So then I had to fucking order more nicotine, got it on its way. So, you know how it goes. I vastly overestimated my preparedness.
It happens. Well, you had to make sure you took care of her, Nick, because if she's withdrawing from Nick, you're gonna have a bad day.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
very bad
she,
day.
she definitely
Gonna
comes
get
first. Yeah, but I tell you what, I added a couple things to that recipe. I added what the hell was it? Oh, the little cookie things that have the cream in the middle, the 2 little cookies.
Oreos.
No, they're like fancy.
Wafers?
Macaroons.
Macaroons. I added macaroon to it.
What's it? Wonder Flavor? Who makes the macaroon flavor? Is it Wonder Flavor?
Flavora.
Flavor.
I think it's Flavora. I think it's
I think they
Flavora.
both do.
I don't have
both
that one.
What I added is because her favorite flavor, the glass pebbles, has that as one of the flavors.
Oh,
So I
okay.
threw it in there.
Yeah.
It's smelling pretty good. 2 days in, it already smells pretty good.
You can
so,
shake and vape that. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
So, Simon, guess what I ordered because Tam and I were chatting and when I placed my last chest order.
I don't know what you get.
Well, what would I need? Some absinthe and crystal blue for?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
I don't
toilet
know.
water. The Night King.
That she said that I got like 2 expert palates telling me I must try this, so now I have to.
Gotta have it.
And so it's on my chef's order, and
Oh,
it's
wait a
already
minute.
in.
Hold on. Kenny
No, I'm
B.
waiting
Kenny
on
B is alive.
Kenny
Oh,
B,
Kenny
what's
B.
up?
What's up, Kenny B?
Oh, speaking of no, yes. Look at that. I was just cleaning out a drawer and I was like, I still have coils.
Oh shit.
I just found one of those the other day too. That's so funny.
Yeah, I still have a couple of coils. Yeah.
So I need to try some Kenny B coils. Are these the
Yes.
shit?
Yes.
All right, Kenny B.
Liana, just on another note, DIY ejuice in Canada have both crystal blue and crystal clear, which is the same concentrate. One has blue colouring, the other does not. So that might be a quicker option for you if you have a look at. Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
everything was from chefs because I want free shipping. And throw this in there, and Tam and I were just going at it, and she told me, yeah, no, that's not a good flavor. Don't waste your money. Yeah, oh, you have to have this. So she just kept adding to it, and it came out with a nice little list, and she was raving about that recipe.
Yeah, Addie said something in the chat that's perfect. That anytime you're on Twitter, anything that you tweet or respond to tweet, put hashtag We Vape We Vote, because the anti-groups think that we're all bots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
maybe
real.
you should add not a bot.
Yes. Yeah, hashtag not a
I've been
bot.
called
Not a
many
bot.
things, but never a bot.
Oh, I want to do that now. I want to hashtag not a bot. I've been too busy to be on Twitter lately. I've got a few things up there, but it's been a minute.
It's a good thing. If you're not on Twitter, you should be. And
It can
suck
get
my
intense,
mod, Matt.
though. It can get intense though.
It can. There's an easy, quick way. If you don't want to tweet your own stuff, go and have a look at Matt's
SMM,
Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, follow everyone he follows and retweet and add not a bot.
Yeah.
Not a bot. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, Greg Conley, Dimitri,
Yep.
Jen Winstead,
Kevin Crowley.
Kevin Crowley, yes.
I
Yeah.
like
I
Grim.
always have Ozzy in my head when I hear Kevin's name. Give him Mr. Crowley.
Hey, did you shoot a link up there for me, please? So, I can like scope out some coils, please. We're probably already friends on Facebook, but things get lost in your market. I want to scope out some things. So I have a whole lot of hardware on its way that's going to need coils.
Oh, that's the other thing that I meant to mention too. Steam Crave Roma Miser Plus. If you love those tanks, and a lot of people do, they are having an end of life sale on Steam Crave,
Yes.
and they've got them for $20 or something around those
Dirt
that
cheap,
line.
yeah.
And
Dirt
then
cheap. So one of the go on, Lee. Go on. No, I was going to say, if you love that tank, it's got a heap of different decks, including a series deck. If you're on a series mod, velocity deck, postless deck, single coil deck. It's got a 5mm, 10mm, 15mm, 20mm glass. You can use it as a dripper. Probably the most versatile piece of kit you'll ever buy, and at the moment they're on an end of life sale, so once they're gone, they're probably gone for good, which is a damn shame, because they've been around for about 3 years and they are a really, really good tank.
They have held up extremely well. They did sometimes with
Yes.
technology and vaping, it happens so fast that has really stood the test of time. So
Yeah, I have
I
one-
still use them. there's one with the 15mm on it. Beautiful.
And if anybody's looking for a good, mouth to lung tank, the Cthulhu Haster full size is on sale. Vapor DNA for $20, and it's
okay.
amazing tank. So
I'm tired of having to change cotton, so I ordered an extra recurve and a couple nano wasps. So I'm gonna need coils for all that.
Yeah, I got
Well,
my
get
wasp
making.
right here. I'm-
You can be lazy. Just have them made, ready, and just like whip it out.
So now Smokey's jumped to Rabbit Dude's lap.
Uh-oh.
She's being a hussy tonight.
So does that mean she's going down under?
Oh!
That's like the Aussie kiss, the Aussie French kiss.
Yeah,
It's exactly the same, except it's down under.
that's right.
get the antibiotics ready.
Your recipe's almost done for me to vape in a couple more days. Your smoothie. I'm so excited to try it.
Oh, well, that was the online smoothie. I mean, the show smoothie.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. It's like ready, and I have
Yeah, and
7
then I went and did a different one called the Bamboo
I need
Tango.
that recipe.
Oh yeah, I was missing.
I printed
think
it
I was
on
missing
paper.
one thing on that Bamboo Tango. I have to go back and look at it again.
The Mango Tango, I bet.
Yes, I don't have that one.
So many good recipes. Cameron, you're just amazing.
Wait, yeah, because
No.
Mango Tango.
I
That was,
just have
that was
lots
the
of
innerwear.
flavors.
That was the innerwear one shot, right? Yes.
No, I guess you call it a one shot. I don't think it's, but it's a newer
Yeah.
flavor.
I'll just throw
You're
Flavor
amazing.
Express Mango at it and say screw it.
You're just amazing.
Bit of Flavor Express,
right,
bit of Salubralome, and some Golden Eye, mate. You'll be gold. Be good.
You don't have those either.
I have the Golden Eye, but I don't have the Salubro.
Oh, you do have Golden Eye?
I don't have
Okay.
the Salubro Mango.
But the thing about Mango Tango is it has so rather than throwing,
Oh hell, I don't blame them.
I would throw a tangerine to it instead of something else. Because the thing about Mango Tango is it's a combination of a mango and I think a citrus or something.
Okay. I quite often put a tangerine with a mango anyway, because I just like the little bite you get from it.
It already has FE mango, so you may want to, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause they're a different mango.
So that's why I picked that one, because it was a combination of that.
I've been
Nice.
vaping the glaze.
Graham says
Apple.
Delosi's mango #1 all time.
I have to make a big batch of it now because I've been vaping the glazed apple turnover all day, and I love it. That's so good.
Yeah, it's getting to be that time where I need to start working on. I want to come up with a drop dead apple fritter, something that because
Apple fritter.
I had one from a company that they kind of went shitty, so I'm not gonna say what company it is because I don't want to give them any promotion, but it was really good.
I know who you're talking about, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Not anymore though.
No.
Okay, so I
got you,
put
brother.
that out, so I can mix it, and I bet it's gonna be awesome.
Steve got a banging donut recipe put out there.
My husband wants
Nice.
more coffee, so I'm gonna mix him some more coffee right now.
Sticks. Go sticks.
Yeah, sticks mix.
Go sticks.
The Losey strawberry.
You can
milk.
push the sticks mix up fairly high and wattage wise and flavor wise, and not damage yourself, which is a good thing.
Adam's lurking because he just sent another message in the group saying we must be having a great show without him. We miss him.
Aww.
He's hanging out at a show with Ed from Eddie Narson's in Chicago, so I don't blame him. He's got to promote for the band. So, Mr. Burgundy, hola, Mr. Burgundy.
I got my husband a different tank so that he could vape his coffee recipe that he's addicted to at a lower wattage, so the coils would last longer.
Yeah, well, coffee at higher watts can get funky.
He
Yeah.
doesn't care about funky, but he doesn't realize how much better it can taste. So I just got an old school Freemax tank, because the coils can be at a lower wattage, and just told him to use that just for his coffee.
Yeah, they're like 40 watts and you're good.
Yeah. That's what he wants, so I gotta make more of that. You
Yeah,
guys don't mind.
got a bunch of people coming out tonight. Hadn't seen in a while. Kenny B, Mr. Burgundy. Glad to see
Yeah,
you're doing well.
Mr. B
Oh, he's
in
been
minutes.
busy growing weed. There you go. Make that
Nice.
money. Dollar
He must live next door to me.
Actually, I think he's like
So-
in Missouri or something where it's legal now, or at least
Ooh.
medicinal.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any Delosi. I was going to order some a while back when they had all the three. I think you can still get the 3 mil ones. And I was talking to a guy from Delosi, and we're going to do a big order, and then just kind of like lost interest. Nothing against them, but just other things move so quickly, and something else popped. Came out, and it's like, oh well, did that instead. And I should pick up some. I know Graham's big on Delosi, and also Rin. You can get her ear. She can tell you what ones are good. Yeah, he was quoting me like 90 something. I think it was right around $100
Yeah,
for the whole line in 3 mil.
I think it was.
Yeah, because I guess there's not much markups. There wasn't any wiggle room. And it was-
That's still pretty reasonable.
Oh yeah, and it was like 100 flavors or.
Well, I got the Decadent Vapors line direct from them for £3 per 60 mil.
Oh, okay.
And shipping, I think shipping cost me about $80 Australian or something like that. But they've got like 120 odd flavors. I thought that was an absolute bargain, and I'm really liking some of their stuff. It's really good. So actually, C. Earl asked about the Wonder Flavors strudel. Are you talking about the I think it's the apple cinnamon strudel?
Yeah, I think I have a bottle of that and I haven't even cracked it.
Good.
Yeah, I've got a bottle of that, but I haven't got to testing it yet.
Mm-mm.
Just one of those. I'll get to it. Nah, next week.
Yeah, that's
I should have actually tested that for the Apple show that we did, Tam, but I didn't.
That is true. I didn't even think about that one.
But well, no matter.
I still have
But-
that Millie Vanilli one that I haven't even tried yet.
Million folds.
Yeah, the milk juice. Yep.
Much easier to call it million folds than Mille Furie or whatever.
Yeah, my French sucks.
Yeah. My French is a bit like my Swahili, non-existent.
I know enough French to kind of get by if I'm in, if I have to deal with a receptionist or something on the phone at a dealership in Quebec.
Oh, I can swear at people, but that's and that's the most important thing, especially when it's French.
Yeah.
Very true.
I know I got a bottle of liquor somewhere. I see you get about halfway through and you forget what you're looking for.
I have that same problem. I'll go to look for flavors, and I'll see something else and go, "Ooh, I want to make this with that," and then it just completely completely
Squirrel.
Yeah.
Because it's also enticing.
Yeah, I just saw one. I totally forgot I bought it and don't even know why I bought it. Yeah, I bought it just to try to help build up my winter flavor collection. It was walnut. It's like, what the hell do I need walnut for?
That's where I'm sadly lacking. I
Maybe
do
I
not
sent it to you.
mix. I haven't mixed terribly
No,
many
I think
nuts.
I bought that one.
You're
Okay.
short on the nuts.
I'm short on nuts.
Here
Yeah,
we go. Apple,
I don't-
apple
I-
cinnamon strudel.
haven't vape nuts. I got turned off with a very popular ELR recipe that was just, for me, it was super strong, and yeah, I haven't. That was very early on, and I haven't touched another nut vape since.
The only nut that really goes in vaping for me is pistachios. So, is that a nut?
Yeah,
It might not even be
Yeah.
a nut.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it a
a
nut?
yeah, we call that a nut. I do a couple of almond mixes, but more with marzipan and stuff like that. So
That
it's not quite the same, but because to me, most of the almonds, I get a like a Disrano sort of amaretto type taste from them, which I quite like. So
Yeah, off the knuckle, this apple cinnamon strudel is cinnamon, for damn sure. Don't taste much apple and don't get much bakery, but then it is, off the knuckle, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah, people with that damn cinnamon just goes too much. And Sin, you have nothing to apologize for about the chat on Sunday night. I totally agree with everything you said, and that guy is just out trying to start trouble. So it is what it is.
I must have
there's always a few.
Because
Yeah.
I don't even remember it now, but then I wasn't drinking that much Sunday night.
that you
I don't
remember.
know.
You know what it's called, Frank? It's called getting old. You're getting old. You don't
Yeah.
remember that far back.
It wasn't even. You know what? It was just political stuff, which I think is hot and heavy right now. But it
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
that's people are entitled to their opinions, and I just tried to squash it because
Yeah.
the guy that was arguing with her wasn't looking for a conversation.
No, he was
He's looking-
just looking to be an ass.
He's looking to troll, and so it's just
Yeah.
like, what's the point,
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening a lot around the traps, where people are talking about politicians and their stance on vaping, and then someone comes in and just jumps all over the person simply because they support a particular politician, and they're doing it irrelevant of vaping, and it's really quite hard to deal with because I don't like talking politics unless it relates to who supports us.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't support us, as far as I'm concerned, they can go eat a dick.
Right.
They're not going to ever, like particularly here in Australia, they're never going to get my vote. Over in America, I have no say, so I've got no skin in that game. But trying to draw people apart from their party affiliations or their love of a particular politician for other reasons is really quite
Yeah.
hard, and trying to separate the idea that vaping is, and their stance on vaping, they should not support someone who wants to take something away from them, irrelevant of all the other good things that they think this person has done or that person has done. Don't give them your support.
No.
Like, become a one issue voter.
Single issue voter, exactly.
Yep.
I think when I was
Yep.
I was On my way home from work, I stopped in a Bethel place and ordered a pizza place. So I stopped and grabbed that, and I was going through town, and I see signs for, I guess there's a mayor's race. Well, I live in the county, so I don't get to vote for what's going on in the town itself, but in the towns where all the vape shops are. So I'm going to look into finding out if this guy running for mayor, what his stance is on vaping, because there's 3 or 4 shops that are in the town limits.
I just want everyone to really, if you don't know what your local politicians, like city council, the local, state senators, state congress people, you really should know what their stances are on vaping, and think locally. I mean, of course, the federal ban, all that kind of stuff, that's scary, but local is like really what we can focus on and have a really big impact on, because a couple of voters can have a really big impact on local politics. So.
Yes. Oh, real quick, Vape Ross Vape, Vape Ross Vape, Vape Ross Vape.
I'm not doing that. I look like an idiot doing that stuff, so I can't do it. So I'm feeling it. I'm doing it in my head, Vape Ross Vape, but I can't do it.
Silent support, Tam.
He's from.
Oh, we're going to talk about custards, or we just go?
Yeah.
No, you wanna? But you just want to keep? Yeah, I'm happy to keep talking. I don't care.
But
Custards.
I know we did have one beginner in the chat. There's someone who's starting to put his collection together. So I feel we should give him some ideas as far as what to look for when he puts that starter kit together for us creams and custards.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan.
I'm
I'll
glad-
start off.
Yeah, go for it, Simon.
Inawera custard.
Yes.
I'm done.
Drop the mic.
If you are a non-believer in popcorn lung, such as myself, custard premium, but you'll have to get it out from
Chef.
outside the states, so chefs, legendary custard. Like, I mean, back in the day, like 4 years ago, the go-to custard was V1,
Yes.
Capella. There are so many good damn custards there now. I find that I just don't use it anywhere close to what I used to use
Right.
it.
No.
Like I do still like Cat V1. I just find it doesn't find its way into my mixes anymore. It's just one of those things that has fallen by the wayside a little bit for me. It's more of a pudding than a custard. But
Yeah.
It's definitely more of a pudding than a custard.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a true eggy, nice custard, there's a heap to choose from. Mullenberry's legendary custard, Inawera custard premium, Flavora custard, Flavora vanilla custard, Flavora vanilla pudding. You can all twist.
Vanilla pudding.
Yeah, vanilla
Yeah.
That right
pudding.
there is
Oh,
like.
vanilla pudding.
I mean, you could use
Yeah.
that as a custard, as a standalone custard, and you won't be wrong.
Yep. And you can't if you want short steep time, Flavora's your go-to.
Yeah.
Especially with their custards like Fresh's quick custard.
Yeah.
Inawera
Bang,
is quick,
easy.
right? Like, it's good.
Inawera's
3 to
a
5
lot-
days,
lot
5
quicker.
Days. Yeah, it's 3 days.
Yeah, about 3 days. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 days. And
So
it's
you-
not going to
you-
change much after that.
Yeah, your Cat V1, you're looking at, if you go over 3%, you're looking at a month. No.
Oh yeah, to be good.
Yeah,
21 days minimum.
Yeah.
Now I'm
Yeah,
weird
so-
because I can shake and vape it and not get disgusted. Now I know
Yeah.
it'll get.
I have a juice called Disgusted.
Worth the wait though. You just make it and
Well,
whip
yeah.
it up and put it in the back of the cabinet and make other things that you can vape in the meantime.
That's
And
like
it's
this
just-
right here. This is Travis's white girl that definitely has Cat V1. This bottle here is a year old. It was in the back of the cabinet. At one time I actually thought I accidentally disposed of it when I was cleaning out my cabinet because it wasn't marked.
No!
And then right before the show I was grabbing my my other mod and I said, let me look for something. I looked real quick and there it was, and literally the cap literally fell apart because it sat in there so long. Now it's back together, and I was like,
Is that Freebase Nick?
yeah,
By the red color, I'm judging that it's Freebase Nick.
yeah, it's 3 milligram Freebase.
Yeah. I bet
Well,
it smells neat.
your cat V1 actually needs to oxidize to get good.
Right.
All right, so there's no dicetyl in it, but with oxygen oxidation, it
Uh-huh.
will form into dicetyl. So it as over that time it becomes super creamy and you know, yum. A lot of people get a funny off note to it. I don't, but you know,
haven't worked with
it's
I haven't worked with it because I came in at a time when I'm spoiled rotten and have all these awesome custards, and I don't have all the old school knowledge of those previous things. So I haven't worked with it at all because I came in at an ideal time where there was already all these beautiful custards to choose from. So
It's a,
Well, I
it's
mean,
a,
have a-
it's
have a-
new age, that's for sure.
yeah, it's totally different. But I mean, have a look at Keno Ware's Stronana custard.
31
It's one of the
days,
most-
and don't try it at 30 because it tastes like shit. That 31st day is like a switch flips.
Yeah, boom. but 10% is yeah, that's a massive amount of custard. And Kenny likes his custard, I'll say that much.
Oh,
But yeah, look, do not even attempt to vape that
That's
without.
why I still have a 4-ounce bottle that has
Okay.
that much left in it.
you have a question up here, Frank.
Oh.
CS Blue wants to know: can you use that being a year old?
Oh yeah. I just
You'll
drip-
know-
I just
you'll
drip
know.
some of
You'll know when it's bad.
Yeah.
You'll know when it's bad.
it. Yeah.
Well, see, I mean, like
I mean,
that's
it's-
something you've probably got to cover. Is it realistically concentrates don't go off like milk? I mean, what they do is they might drop down in intensity over the course of a year.
Just
There
like your
are
nicotine.
some that just
Your
there are
nicotine
some
could
that get
peppery.
better.
Nicotine is
So-
the first thing to go for sure.
Yeah.
A pepper, and sometimes I get like, if the nick is bad, then it gets like this musty fish smell. It's just foul.
A musty fish smell.
On
We
bad-
talking about the clap again.
That's what it was.
Boom.
We're circled right round.
Shot. I think I need that shot.
How often have you got bad Nick?
Now that's the one time I got bad nick because it got hot on the way here. They
Oh,
tested.
okay.
Yeah, remember that time?
Oh
But it
yeah.
all
It was
like,
probably in the truck,
really-
and that trailer was probably 200 degrees with the smuggled Mexicans on it.
and it because they tested it in the lab, they went back and retested it, tested out fine. And that's when they decided during the summertime they're gonna ice pack their nick on the way here, and I'm just like,
Yeah, well,
okay.
for Vegas, I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I felt really bad, but they did reimburse me, and that was really nice.
That's
Well,
good.
see, you're talking about Nick. That's why I order. One of the reasons why I order Fiji Nick, because it's got to come
Yep.
all the way here. Right? That's you know, if it's hot here, it won't go off as quickly as PG Nick by way of oxidization. But you know, when it comes down to it, it generally gets here fairly quick. 10 days to me from the States, which
I think-
isn't too bad.
I think that if you're mixing VG based Nick is the only way to go.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Now, see,
Brothers.
I'm the opposite just because PG base Nick, you could throw it in the freezer. It's not going to freeze. You let it out, you let it warm up a little bit, let it get closer to room temperature before you use it. And it's just easier to work with.
I try to get as max VG as possible though.
See, like this is PG, and I can leave it sit out here on the counter, and it's not because it's Carolina extracts. They don't want you to freeze it. They want you to basically keep it at room temperature. And this bottle is over 6 months old, and it's still great.
And I got
Look, it comes down to like a personal preference. Like I mix pretty much everything at 80-20.
Yeah.
If I have anything over, you know, a 10% sort of thing of Nick, and I want to go slightly higher on the Nick on that particular mix, I can still hit my 80-20.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the advantages that I find with using VG is it doesn't matter how much flavor you use in your mix, you can always hit your ratio. So, you know, it's a personal preference thing. And as far as hard to work with or not hard to work with, if you're using it in a squirter bottle or something along those lines, it really doesn't make a whole lot of difference how thick it is when you're squirting it out. You've got to give all your nick a bit of a shake, and yeah, sure, the PG will shake up a little bit quicker and the bubbles will dissipate quicker. But
Now, if
you
we're
know,
talking about squirting it out, it needs to be pretty hard.
There's that clap again.
but actually, something I was talking to Frank about before the show, because I split all my nick. We've gone off Custards again. We're not interested in them today. But is if you're going to buy a fairly large bottle of nick, split it into smaller bottles. Right, have a working bottle that you use. Put all your other bottles in the freezer. Pull it out the day before you want to use it. Keep your working bottle in a static. You know, you can put it on your desk for God's sake. If you've got a small bottle. But what I do with mine is I use one of these, which is Wine Save. They're about
Oh, nice.
$20.
I'm looking into that.
It's argon, so you just top off your bottles with the Wine Save, and you get no oxidization in your nick at all.
I like the best of both worlds. 50-50, sit in the desk. The rest of it's in the freezer. I pour it when I need more. That's
Argon. I use the little
That's my
argon
thing.
oil in my hair.
No, not the same. Stops your hair from oxidizing. Yay!
And so
Now,
that answers
we can-
a question that somebody had. Somebody asked, "Can you freeze VG and PG?"
At about minus 50, they will freeze, I think, but it's very, very cold. At minus 20 or whatever your normal household freezer goes, it'll just thicken up, and they won't expand much either. So you can top the bottle off pretty much all the way to the top.
Yeah.
That's where I keep mine until I put it on the counter. But I like 50-50, and I know I can throw off like certain recipes that require for higher VG. I'd have to like change that. But that's just so I have the best of both worlds. It's workable, it lasts well.
There is no right. It's DIY. Do it how you feel comfortable. If the other thing is something that when I first started mixing with VG Nick, something that I read, and it's the absorption rate if you do have a spill. Right, with VG Nick, because it's a lot thicker, it won't absorb as quick into your skin
Yes.
than PG Nick. So that's something to consider as well. If you know you captain safety, you know, it's just something that you probably need to have a think about. And nick handling is no joke.
Yeah.
You know, use your
Definitely.
gloves,
Yep.
use your glasses, stand up when you're pouring your nick so you don't have a lap for it to fall into. You know,
I like-
these things.
I liked what Zippy had said on, on Mike's show earlier. I did catch that part where she said she wears her gloves because she's not going to give you bad habits. You pick them up on your own. That's on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, I mean, we've all mixed without gloves on. Let's face it. You know,
Yeah,
not telling a lie,
yeah.
but best practices are the ones that you should be taught. You make a decision later on that if you want to not wear gloves, not wear glasses, not stand up, you know, it's your call. But realistically, the correct way to do it is to do all at the minimum of those three things. You know, you don't need a biohazard suit for God's sake, but you know, just be safe with it.
The first time I ever mixed with like really strong nick, I had the mask and the glasses and the
Yeah.
gloves, because you know it is super dangerous, and you should treat it accordingly. But if you're scared about nick, you can also order 3 milligram in VG and just use that
Yeah,
as your
the
base.
liquid,
Exactly.
the liquid barn you can get in a gallon. It's already
Yep.
pre-nicked and
Yep.
it's like 20
Yep.
something.
So
bucks.
yeah, look, you can get lower, but you can also get higher. And if you do get higher, like really, you shouldn't be getting anything over 100, right? For handling at your house, you should get
Yeah.
nothing stronger than 100.
Yeah.
I like Nude Nicotine sell spikers. I don't know whether you've seen them. They're little Nick Salt syringes that are 450 milligrams.
I think they also do 1,000.
Yeah, they do pure as well. Now, my opinion on pure is unless you are in a lab with a fume cupboard
You don't
and
need it,
you
yeah.
know you do not need it. It is not safe for you to have at home.
No.
1,600 milligrams of Nick, I believe it is, that you can come back from, but you don't come back easily.
Yeah.
So if you've got pure Nick, it's 1.6 mil, which is not a lot to cause you a whole lot of hospital.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be a rough ride.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So look, be safe with Nick. Do the right thing. The last thing at this particular juncture in time that anyone needs to hit the news
Yes.
is Nick accidents. The media would just jump all over that shit, and you'd be a rock star for all the wrong reasons.
Yep.
Yeah, I love what Goose Girl said there. Start out at 48 until you feel comfortable. Because like all
Yep.
your I know the Nick River starter kit, they give you a 150 ml bottle of 48 milligram. That's fine. I think that's perfect.
100.
Yeah.
That's all I want to use. This is 100. It's nice and safe.
And like, isn't the
Yep.
TPD you can't even get 100 milligram, Nick?
You can get 20 milligram. That's it in a 10 mil bottle or something along those lines. So yeah, it's not super duper strong. You can pretty much handle that quite safely. It's no different from handling your ejuice.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I mean, the choice of Nick salts, as Sin says she doesn't care for Nick salts. I use Nick salts. I don't use Nick salts at 50 milligrams or any stupid shit like that. I just use it as I would normal Nick. There's no requirement just because you can use it high. There's no requirement for you to use it high.
Yeah.
You can use it just the same as Freebase Nick. If you're looking at a comparison between the two, say maybe 5 milligram per mil of Nick salts compared to 3 milligram of Freebase hits about the same. The Nick salts will get absorbed a little bit quicker. So it's
They leave your system a little bit quicker too.
yes, they do. So if you are on Nick salts, you do tend to hit fairly often. But it will cross the blood-brain barrier pretty much in about half the time, I think, of Freebase, somewhere around there anyway.
I like the smooth salt Nick because I don't want things that interfere with my flavors, and I don't like throat hit at all. So I buy new nicotine smooth.
See,
And
I like.
if I were to take if I say I'm trying to do a pod recipe and I'm trying to develop something for my little pod, and I have to hit it a few times. If I get a headache, I know that headache is going to leave me. I already shut it off, babe. I know that headache is going to leave me within, say, 20 minutes if I hit it one too many times. And so, I don't know, it doesn't interfere with the flavor. So it's really good.
And something, sorry to interrupt, but something Addie said in chat, yes, there has been a child death from 100 milligram nicotine. It happened in Australia.
Yes.
So for God's sake, keep it well out of the way of any little ones.
Yeah.
If you can seal it up, before you freeze it, before you put it in the freezer, do so. I tend to get my Nick and vac pack it. So
It's a great idea. It's a great idea.
vac pack it in the freezer. That way, if it leaks, it's not going into any food. If you keep it in a shared freezer,
I keep it in the door in the freezer, but it's in baggies. But I don't have a vacuum sealer. Now you make me
look, with stuff like that, it's every precaution that you can possibly take to keep it out of the hands of people who don't know what it is. Friggin' do it.
Yep.
Label it. On your little bags. Label it in big ass writing.
Yes.
All right.
Don't have kids in the house. Keep a lot.
You can't stress enough that if the media ever got hold of a DIYer who had mucked up with Nick, it would be all over the place.
Yeah, because they want to shut us down too. If they,
Yep.
if they have
And bad
they have
news
the
travels a
opportunity.
lot faster. Bad news travels a lot faster.
Absolutely, it does.
So you'd never see a headline that 4 million or 13 million American vapors handled their vapes safely today and didn't explode their batteries or get too much nicotine. You'd never see that headline.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Let's make one.
Yeah.
Love
So
it. Do that. Statistics.
but
Herd statistics.
yeah, they'll bend it to whatever they like. But probably get back to custards at some stage now. We've had our. Where's this track going? It's friggin' all over the show. but I've got a couple of custards somewhere around here that I could sort of pop into chat. Hang on, share public. All right, so this is one of my faves. Oh, Custard Slut, which is my favorite custard trio, which is, as I mentioned before, it's custard Inawera, custard premium, and vanilla custard from Favora. A little bit of toasted coconut cheesecake just to add to that mouthfeel, thicken it up. The vanilla bean from Real Flavors in that can be subbed for pretty much any other vanilla you want. It's just there to boost the vanilla a little bit, and the brown sugar gives it a nice dark sweetener. So, have a crack at that if you like a decent custard, because I love it. And it's always fun when someone asks you what you're vaping in, you go, custard, slut.
They made custard slut. You made drunk virgin custard, which is on my page. But when I asked Simon, I said I don't have a custard. And he asked me what I have, whips one out in like 10 minutes, and the recipe is absolutely amazing. Totally not mine. Super super good. I just love it.
Eggnog with your custard. Way to go.
And
Yeah,
butter rum.
that's one I've been hearing a
Butter
lot
rum.
lately.
That's a wicked combo. It's
It was so good. So good.
I did a variation of that custard slut as well. Just dropped the brown sugar down by 0.5 and added a bit of butter rum from LA for a drunken custard slut. But I sort of changed the name on that one to Sofa King Disgusted.
There you go.
which I'll throw a link out there for too. So
Are you gonna make like a married couple custard now, like pouring married couple custard or anything? You've got anything else?
call it I fucking hate you or something.
Love hate. I love hate you. Love hate custard. That would be awesome. Oh, ball and chain custard.
I was gonna say hallway sex. Fuck you.
Yeah,
fuck
I was
you.
going to say always sex too, mate.
Ball and chain. I want the ball and chain custard. That's the next one because we've got sluts, virgin, and couch. Whatever you said.
I've got an Irish custard, which is a custard Malone as well, which is it's got Marzi Malone, which is the flavour art blend of marzipan and Irish cream.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a nice. That actually uses all different custards. It doesn't use the same custards as that last one.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec. Oh no, I don't want that one. I want this one. I'll find it in a sec. There we go. Public.
Sorry if you
And
can hear
that's-
my company. I don't know if you
Oh,
can hear
is that what that is?
Let's
I
see
was
what-
like,
was
what
that-
is that?
Is there a football game going on?
Whoa, what's going on?
I got
Whoa.
barbecue merch. These guys, and then our friend from Seattle is going to be jumping back on a plane. I want to make sure they're fed. You guys have been
Oh, there you
very.
go.
I'm gonna go
Sorry.
ahead and bow out early. I just want to tell you all thank you for having me.
No, you're welcome,
And-
Alana.
Graham came up with the best name for your married custard.
Ball and chain.
Sofa King out of here, bitch custard.
I know that's what we should make. Can we make that and the ball and chain? Fun.
Custard pie.
I love you guys. Nice.
Nice, Trav. Nice.
Hey,
See
not
you,
mine.
Liana.
Not mine. It's from Cloudy Blows.
Hey, it was really nice to hang out with you, Overdose Vapes. You're a
Nice to
cool
meet
guy.
you. Have fun.
Cheers, Liana. But yeah, the Custard Malone is a nice one too. Almond custard at 1.1. Coconut custard at 2. Custard Premium shows its head again at 1.5. Holy Vanilla and Marzi Malone. Now, Marzi Malone's a little bit hard to get in the States unless you're ordering from chefs, but you could probably get it going with, I would say, probably 0.75 of FA Irish cream and 0.25 marzipan, somewhere around there. So,
Because that's what I would do. I have both of them, but I don't have the Marzi Malone, obviously.
yeah, I'm not quite sure on their ratios. You might have to play with that ratio a little bit, but that would still be a tasty hit. So that'd be all good. But that's me. I'm all out of custard. I'm a bit disgusted.
Now, I have a question. And, Tam, I'm sure you could probably answer this, or even Smokey in the chat. What is the difference between Flavora's custard and Flavora's vanilla custard?
Vanilla?
Just the
Easy answer. Come on, Frank.
vanilla. Well,
Well, when you ask a question, you got to accept the answer, Frank, because walked into that door.
so basically, I could probably use a little bit of smooth vanilla and come up with the same thing.
Yeah, probably about 0.1 smooth vanilla and the Flavora, and you'll get close.
One is a commercial custard, one is not.
Oh, okay.
I think custard is more of the commercial custard. Am I right, Smokey?
Custard plain is the bomb, she says.
There you
Because
go.
that's the one I have. I have the custard. I don't have the vanilla.
Yeah, it's more custardy
Well, good.
than vanilla custard. Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that.
little egg, yeah.
I need to get that Capchurro. I saw fresh.
No, what am I note? Okay, type it out. I don't know. Custard? No.
Custard is
Custard
homemade.
is the homemade.
So the vanilla is the more commercial one.
So,
And the one that you get in the like the cardboard milk carton and you pour it out. That's the vanilla. That's the legendary custard from Mullenberry. That one is one of those pour out custards that you get. You just get the little I don't know whether you have them over there. Little 600 ml cardboard carton, and you open it up, chuck it in the microwave, and just pour it all over your apple pie. Beautiful.
I don't think you can get that one,
what's the
but
difference in smoked butterscotch and butterscotch? Smoked. It's
Don't say smoked.
Gold.
well, it is. When you taste it, it's smoked.
liquid smoke.
What's-
That,
what-
if
yeah.
your barbecue's not quite right, you throw that on there.
What's the difference between butterscotch Ripple and butterscotch from Flavor West? Ripple.
It's rippled in the ice cream.
Yeah, one's
It's the
creamier.
ripple.
Yeah, one's creamier.
That damn ripple.
I'm starting to find that I like using the ripple more than the regular butterscotch anymore, which sucks because I have a whole 120 of the
Man,
regular
butterscotch is so tough for me. I've had so much
Really?
fucking problems with butterscotch. Yeah, it's just too strong, and so I'm down to using like 0.1% in my recipes, and
Now, Travis,
I
do you
think
use-
I went butterscotch overboard, and I'm kind of needing to go a different route.
Well, I did that for what was that last year? I had that one recipe. I baked it like straight for like 6 months, like it was my job, and that was butterscotch. Now,
If I was-
That was
like-
me.
now, Travis, do you use scales or do you do everything like pipettes or syringes?
so I used to do everything by milliliter. Now I do everything with scales.
By weight, okay.
But I don't know. Sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I'll just do it by mils. So
Oh, okay.
I mean, I would like to do it by drops one day just for nostalgia, I guess. I don't know, because I think the first time I ever did it, I got a recipe and it was by drops. So
Yeah, the only thing I know Smokey uses drops, but then she's using all flavors, so you're going to get the same consistency out of every drop.
Yeah, out of every bottle, yeah.
Now, if you
Yeah.
have a Flavora bottle that has, like let's say, like the Massengill tip on it, or you have
The Massengill.
where you have something.
But I don't
like
use.
this,
I don't. But even
where
when
it
I'm
has
doing
a
mills,
screw top on it.
I don't use pipettes. I use syringes. I have the big syringes
Yeah.
and stuff. So that's usually what I. If I'm doing it like that, that's what I use.
I know Addie's the pipette king. He uses pipette life.
Well, so that's something else. I mean, that's a personal preference too.
Yeah.
It's just clean up versus non-clean up, really.
Yep.
I mean, drops is quick and easy. Scales quick and easy. Syringes, pipettes, a bit of clean up. It just depends where you are and what you want to do. If you get one of the startup kits, generally they have syringes or
Yeah.
pipettes, one of the two. So
Yeah, Nick River sends you syringes.
and if you do get syringes, just reuse them.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
I still have some
but-
downstairs in a little cabinet cleaned out.
Little tip that I was given earlier on. I cannot remember who the hell told me about it, because I used to mix with syringes pretty much like everyone else did. But bit of clear nail polish over the measurements on the syringe, they won't wear off.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you want to reuse them multiples, then all good.
That's a good idea.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm with Smoky Blue. Most of the time, honestly, I don't need to use scales, or because I have, like, I'm making 1,000 mils or 2,000 mils or 5,000 mils. Most of the things come out to be like 30 mils of this flavoring or 100 mils of this flavoring. So it's just like
You're just dumping it in there.
just dumping bottles in there. And so,
Yeah. Problem with that is that they always, well, any reputable place will always overfill your 30 ml bottles, so you'll end up with like 33.
yeah.
As long as it's consistent, it doesn't. And that's the thing. As long as you choose a method of doing something and you're consistent every time, then you can repeat it the same every time. So it doesn't matter how you put it in your beaker, in your bottle. It does not matter, so long as you do it the same every time you make that recipe. Then
Right.
who gives a
That's
shit?
true. Yeah. Consistency is key.
So if you choose a method, stick with it for a while. If you want to change methods, then you might need to adjust your recipe. You never know.
Yeah, sometimes you want to use the left hand instead of the right, so you're going to change methods.
Well,
The
if you lie on
stranger.
it if you lie on it for a little while, Frank, it'll feel like someone else.
This is true.
The stranger.
But then the tingling just turns into pain though after a while when the feeling starts to come back.
That's why you gotta tie off your arm like you're a heroin addict.
Yeah, right.
So Fee said that he really struggles with butterscotch or caramels. I'm assuming gender there. I shouldn't. Less. That was my secret. Was just less.
Yeah.
Less of them.
Generally, when you're working with butterscotch and caramels, they go hand in hand. Like if you want to do a butterscotch mix, then you go heavier on the butterscotch, but you put a bit of caramel or some brown sugar in behind it just to help it out,
Yeah.
or vice versa. So when you with those three concentrates, your caramel, your butterscotch, and your brown sugar, you can push the darkness, push the sweetness, and change any of those three into being the forward note in that recipe just by percentages. And you'll see it time and time again that someone does a butterscotch recipe, you'll see caramel, you'll see brown sugar, you might see butter.
Yeah.
It just depends. Those concentrates, if you're into your butterscotch and your caramels, you should have those concentrates so you can push it around a little bit and change it between vapes, because variety is the spice of life. You might want to push up your butterscotch, throw a little bit more caramel in it, throw a little bit of brown sugar in it, just to change that butterscotch enough so that it's a different vape tomorrow than what you had today. So,
Yeah, 'cause
Or a
that's
little toffee.
Yeah, toffee. Yeah.
Yeah, coffee. Yeah.
Did
Yep.
you say toffee or coffee, Tim?
Toffee.
He still didn't hear you.
No.
Toffee.
Okay, toffee. That's what I thought you
toffee.
said. That's what
I
I thought you said
saw-
the first time. But
I
then
saw
Travis
after
messed
you-
with- Yeah, but then when Travis said coffee, I was just like, oh, okay.
Well, yeah, you could put it in coffee too.
Yeah.
Actually, Liana was talking about coffee vapes before. Something I found I was playing with the other day was the hard crack toffee
Yes.
from Vape Train. You could actually use that as your coffee note quite easily. it's a quite a mild coffee note, but then you don't want a super strong coffee note. It's very strong though, but yeah. So just totally diverging from what we were talking about. Crack candy for coffee, and TFA is a fantastic brown sugar. That's
the only only one I've ever used, and I don't see any reason using any other.
Yeah, there's the Real Flavors brown sugar is also very good, but I think the TFA tops it. You know, it's the best brown sugar that you can hope for. I'm thinking. I mean, there's probably others out there, but I've stopped looking. I just use TFA. You know, it's one of the few that I use quite often. So it's a
So it
good
looks
thing.
like JFM says the Rhode Island ban is now in effect.
Yeah.
Rhode Island was not even on my. I didn't even realize that was coming.
Wow.
Yeah, well, Rhode Island's
Yeah.
the little, Rhode Island's like the little brother of Massachusetts, so they have to follow them.
Yeah.
And the
But-
thing with Rhode Island is the governor of Rhode Island is on the board of the Truth Initiative.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
So, and
Who else
and
is from
also,
Rhode Island? Beauty and the Vape. She's from Rhode
No,
Island.
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Oh.
And Connecticut,
So
Connecticut's been working hard, and they're getting somewhere. Andrew Obright, the head of their Safada chapter, he's been instrumental in keeping things calm in Connecticut. They actually had some stuff tabled and some stuff that's, it's not being pushed through by executive order, so there's going to be legislation. So there's a chance they can get things squashed, especially now that the CDC and the FDA are both saying, oh yeah, by the way, we just killed a bunch of people by lying to you, but now we're going to just tell you the truth because now it's cool too.
So all these anti-organisations are all giving each other reach around, and it's bloody, it's just so fucking wrong, because the information they're spreading is wrong. Someone posted up a picture of a billboard the other day where that said, "If you vape, you're vaping pesticide." No mention of illicit THC carts or anything like that. It's just, if you vape, you're vaping pesticide. And I'm like, it's on a freaking billboard. Surely there's something that can be done about misinformation and bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Even when the media comes back and says, "Oh, we got the first story wrong. Here's what this was THC cartridges." Too late. Damage is done.
Yeah,
Your
and
initial headline said
they're
vaping
doing
is killing people.
They're doing it at 11:28 as they're going off the air on the 11 o'clock news, getting ready for Leno.
Or on page 10 of the paper, here's a retraction from last week's story.
Yeah, they got in the classifieds under, missing dogs.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so oops, we fucked up. But it's absolutely deliberate. There is no two ways about it. That fella, I can't remember what state it was, where they cut off his TV interview where he said, "I got sick from vaping THC cartridges," and they just cut it to "I got sick from vaping."
Yeah.
And I just went, fucking junk, absolute junk.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating. You gotta go though.
Yeah, I gotta go.
All right, Tim.
All right. Wish John a happy anniversary of the day.
Happy 50th. I know, right? He's already into his mind.
Well, you give him his Geritol, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I will. I got him some Depends.
That and little blue pill, he's good to go.
Yeah. I gotta find some. See you later. Bye-bye.
See you, Tab.
Good night.
2 p.m. tomorrow, the Omies will be back on with Nick,
cool.
and I'm gonna have Theo from the Fog Blog on.
Oh, it'd be nice to see him. He hasn't done much lately.
Yeah, so he'll be on, and we'll be talking gin and juice.
There we go.
And a juice.
Yeah,
Doggy
don't play a
style.
song though. You get copyright.
I know, right?
You have to sing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Nick to sing it
There we go.
with a towel on and his cucumber.
No.
I'm glad the football game will be on. I'll have to catch a replay and just so it's just so I can fast forward past that.
It's
part.
fast
All
forward.
right, catch you guys later.
All right, night,
See you, love. Bye. And then there were 3.
There were 3.
Now's the sausage party.
Yeah. Back to the clap, boys. Back to the clap.
Oh dear me! Got some custards out there, Frank? Come on, throw out a recipe, mate. What do you got?
I threw one out last week, and that's what I've been vaping on all week in the squonk. I did the pistachio one last week, and it's good, but I'm missing the pistachio. Never showed up. I think I just overkilled it with too much the almond custard and the pistachio cream and everything. I think it's just like I hid the pistachio.
Yeah, did you the Wonder Flavors almond custard?
Yeah, and the Wonder Flavors pistachio custard.
Yep. I really do like that custard, the almond custard. It's a really nice, but it is more marzipan than almond.
Yeah. Now I made a pistachio ice cream, and it was good. Oh, don't tell me we froze. I'm showing green light. We should be good.
Hey, if I do this.
But hey, Wambatsky, what's going on? Afternoon, sir. But that one I used. I think I used cat vanilla vanilla ice cream, vanilla bean ice cream in that one, and I used a little bit of Flavora pistachio to give it that green note, and I used the TFA pistachio and a little bit of Flavor Arts almond.
Yep, and just to help with the nuttiness.
Mm-hmm. And it got a little too green, I guess you could say.
Yep. Well, pistachio custard would work. It'll work. It's just a case of playing with it, I think, and getting the right spot. But it's one I played with ages ago. I was trying to make like a muesli bar. I don't know whether you have them over there. It's like a granola bar, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard of them. They're not readily available, but you can find them.
Yeah. I went with the pistachio. Totally shagged it up. Yeah, because over here you've got your grains, you've got nuts, cranberry, and a layer of it's like a sweet icing, which is a yogurt type icing. And I totally balls that one up. And I mean to go back to it, but yeah, that's my experience with pistachio. Smokey's sending me somewhere. Hang on.
Oh, I like what CS Belugas asked. Is there a list of commonly used flavors everyone should have in their collection? Developed just did a 20 the 20 flavors that you need to get. They're like the must-have flavors, and out of those 20, you can do all kinds of things with them.
I think there's about 120 odd recipes or something on ELR that you could run with just those flavors. There is an older version of the same sort of thing. It's the on ELR, which Scotty did. I think it was Scotty, where he's analysed the top 500 recipes or something on ELR and put them all into a thread, and what combination of flavors you can get to make the most number of those recipes. But if someone who's new does that, please bear in mind that a lot of those recipes are the top recipes on ELR because they've been there the longest. Doesn't necessarily make them the best. Back in the day when devices were a little bit different, more flavor was used. So, you might need to reassess for the device that you're using today, because flavor and power have a lot to do with the amount of concentrates used in some of those older ELR recipes. And with that in mind too, if you are looking at a recipe and you think it looks good, check the date on it.
Yeah.
Not saying they're expired, but it might be that it was used in a little MTL device, at 10 watts, and it was fantastic. Put it into a dual 21700 series mod, you're gonna lose all flavor because it'll just overpower you.
Or the flavor will turn in a direction you don't want it to go.
Yeah. And that pistachio RY4 Smoky does look very nice, except it has tobacco in it. I could do it without that.
Now, which one did she do? Now, Wayne does, well, he has his, oh, let's see, can I make this one? No, I don't have the sweet cigarette. I have everything else.
Actually, if you look at it and ditch the red burley and the sweet cigarette, that'd be more in my wheelhouse.
Sweet cigarette. Ugh.
Now, the red burley, that stuff, I mean, it can overpower. To me, it does. My palate.
Yeah, tobaccos. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, I've used some tobaccos. Tobaccos can be good actually to, I guess, enhance other flavors.
Yeah. I mean, I've had good tobaccos. I don't know if I could ever mix one. I like what other people do with it sometimes. I don't know if I have any good ideas for one, though,
Yeah, I mean...
Actually, Luke Loop has a nice custard tobacco, getting onto that subject. The yellow matter custard dripping from a dead dog's eye, I think it is.
Yes.
Great name for a juice.
Sounds very appetizing.
Cream cheese icing at 1%, custard in a wearer at 2, custard premium at 3, Holy Grail RY4 at 1.2, sweet cream Capella at 2, bit of sweetener from TPA at 0.8, and yellow cake jungle flavors.
Yeah, and Graham says
2.
Cardinal from Fear. Yeah, drop the mic right there.
Yep.
Has a nice dessert tobacco.
Didn't Tam do a peach?
Yeah, she did peach Cardinal. I mixed it up.
Peach Cardinal,
good.
yeah.
Especially after it steeped. Off the shake, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know about this. But then I put it away, came back to a couple of weeks later, and yeah, it was good. It's not something that I would mix again, but that's not saying anything negative about it. It just wasn't for me.
I've seen a lot of people using like shisha flavors in mixes and shit.
Well, yeah.
And that's
shisha vanilla and shisha strawberry are two of the top 2 flavors that everybody should have in their stash.
But I don't think they're tobacco. I think in Poland the shisha is actually a sugar-coloured lolly.
Yeah, it's different.
Someone can correct me if I'm incorrect, but I do not think they're related to tobacco.
Because to me, I always thought shisha like the
pipe shisha, yeah.
Like Vape Train has a shisha double apple. Now that one is like a pipe shisha. That one definitely is a tobacco note to it. Like
I think that's just a translation thing with Inawera. I'm if anyone in chat can correct me, please do. But I've never got any tobacco vibes off any of their shishas from Inawera.
Okay.
So, and if someone said yes, it is tobacco, then I vape tobacco.
What is this? 31 flavors. What is it? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's look at it.
Everyone clicks.
Jesus Christ.
Holy smoking mother of...
I'm not even... I have to scroll down just to get to like the second half of the recipe.
That's an overload.
And it's only 15.25%.
But that's almost a triple fairy-fied recipe.
It's more than triple fairy-fied. Fairy-fied's 9, so that's triple fairy-fied plus another half.
It's still 35.65, so that's not bad.
Well, you can actually make it max VG be 85.25. Well, depending on your if you're using VG nicotine.
Yeah.
Actually, there is one there. I can't find it. I looked for it earlier on. There is one on ELR. It's called the 18 or 18, something like that. It's 18 cream flavors.
Oh God.
And mixing it together and using it as a stone actually works. but mixing it takes you forever. So like you sit there going, is it going to be worth it? And I would say mixing 18 flavors for a stone is definitely not worth it.
Oh wow. This is hey Simon, can you screen share that for Liana? I can't do it because I'm running OBS.
Some of the comments on this recipe too is that can I sub vanilla cupcake Capella for the vanilla cupcake TPA? It's like at this fucking point,
does it matter?
Does it fucking matter? Come on.
So I'll just zoom in a little bit. Well, there we go. I can't zoom anymore. It won't fit on the screen.
Yeah.
So that one's by Core. I don't think it's by Smokey Liana.
No.
So I'm
She
pretty
managed-
sure
she
that
managed to get 5
it's-
coins to vape it. Oh damn.
but yeah, I'm pretty sure that the VZ SC is out of Smokey's wheelhouse among all the other TPA and FWs and caps and you know.
Oh, it is.
Oh, it is by you, is it? Oh, there you go.
I'm just in awe of this recipe. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, I mean. How
I mean, what do you think this tastes like at the end of the day? Because so much of this stuff is just going to be lost.
That's what I was thinking too, but
Well, it'll give you nuances, but yeah, look, I could not even begin to say what's going to be forward in that.
It's got kiwi in it. Malted milk.
Peach would be out there, I reckon.
yeah, she said it's a peach cobbler,
Peach and
yeah.
honey, maybe. Peach and honey.
Yeah, with some darker notes.
Yeah.
Like amaretto and the rum and stuff. Yeah.
There's a few flavors that if
crazy
you were to
one.
mix that today, that you could possibly combine.
Consolidate. Yeah,
like
yeah.
peach and honey, jungle flavors honey peach.
Oh, that's
Just off
actually
top
in
of
there,
that.
mate.
Oh,
That's in there.
Yeah.
It's Jungle Flavors Honey Peach with a boost from the white
Oh.
peach and
That's not
and
even-
the.
That's not even that old of a recipe, is it? No, 2015. Yeah, it's pretty old.
I mean, hell, you need like a scorecard just to try to put this all together.
Well, you buy everything in that, you've got a stash.
Yeah. And this,
Yeah,
this,
no
this is
shit,
a $100
yeah.
recipe right here.
For 120 mils.
Well, no, I mean you can make gallons of it with all the flavoring, but it's just going to take you a month of Sundays to put it together.
Well, see, I mean, something like that coming from Smokey, I would actually make that
Yeah.
because I know that she, takes pride in her recipes.
Yeah,
Coming
I think
from-
she said she locked herself in a room for 9 months and didn't come out except to eat and shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is that everything in there would do something. Whether I would taste the everything in there that would do something, I don't know, but
So-
yeah.
So they're saying, I'm still stuck on this. So they're saying it's a peach cobbler, 4-layer complex tobacco nuts, 1 drop TPA lemon per 10 mil, 1 drop LA, what is that? Lorraine's
Yeah, what cream cheese
Yep.
icing?
tart and
Oh,
sour
tart and
per
sour,
10
yeah.
mil.
So now
Okay.
you're at 33 flavors?
Yep,
Wow.
pretty wild.
Well, if it works, it works. But I would not like to try and balance that. And kudos to you, Smokey, if you did, because I'd be just sitting there ripping my eyeballs out after 2 tries.
Well, what is VZ? I mean, I don't even know that one.
That's Vaping Zone. It's the same super concentrates that Bull City carry.
Oh, okay.
At Juice Factory here in Australia carry. I believe they're out of China, but I haven't been able to nail down John from Juice Factory as to who the actual maker is. But and I believe that some of the FE concentrates are actually from that line as well. You'll see them listed. They list gourmet super concentrates with Vaping Zone and super concentrates. The gourmet super concentrates, I believe, are Baker's flavors out of Russia, but made in China.
Oh, well,
so-
the original
but-
thread was done December 7, 2014.
Yep, I see that. Yeah.
Damn. But those SCs are very strong, like very strong. If you're going over, like 1% with any of them, you're pretty much over the top with them. They're all I think they're all alcohol based rather than PG based, so they're pretty powerful. They're good. They're good. There's a lot of good ones. In fact, the SC lemon is very nice, and the chocolate truffle, and there's an Australian chocolate as well. They're all, that chocolate truffle was my go-to chocolate for a long time, because you know, I was hunting chocolates after the Inawera fiasco.
Yeah.
So
I was like, I had to go back and look what developed recipe it was that took that double chocolate, or that V2 double chocolate from Capella that I picked up.
actually, Frank, sometime during the week, if we speak, can you remind me to try tart and sour with some of the chocolates? I keep forgetting. Just a note to self.
Yeah, I've never used it. I don't even have it. But now I do have sour from VSO that is probably the same thing. And he says it's like super, like one drop per 30, and it's there.
Yeah, I think that's the one, Fidalgo, the Baker's Chocolate Truffle. It's sold at Vaping Zone under their VZ SC line. So, and probably Bull City the same, but it won't be obviously VZ.
I don't think Bull City does carry some of the super concentrates, but I don't think they have the Baker's chocolate there.
Yeah, don't know. But it's a good flavour. Probably not going to want to push it much over, 0.7 absolute tops. It'll stomp on things. So, but it is a very nice chocolate. If you like chocolates, and some people do not.
Yeah, it was funny. I was talking to my daughter about vaping today, and she was talking about chocolates, and she goes, "Oh, chocolates are really hard." I'm like, "They can be, but it depends on what you want to do."
I can count on one hand how many good chocolates I've had over the years, though. You know what I mean? It's
chocolate can be a tough. You know who you want to look at. Have a look at Zippy's recipes for chocolate.
Yeah.
Zippy knows her chocolates. So if Zippy's done it in a recipe, follow that, because she is to chocolate what Bryn is to mango.
Oh damn. Yeah, Bull City does not carry that flavor.
There you go. But yeah, I've never shopped at VZ, so yeah, I just know they're the same
They
concentrates.
have a lot of the tobaccos. They have.
There you go. Fidalgo's still got that 30ml bottle. You're going to have to use that up soon, mate. I've still got a 120 of the original Inawera milk chocolate, and I still use it in a particular recipe. So,
Who was it? Slasher has a couple of those, but no, he had the waffle. Never mind. He probably still have some of the original though.
so that's it there. Original milk chocolate from Inawera. That's actually the recipe, not the concentrate. The concentrate's considerably darker now. But yes, chocolate is as far as chocolate's is really similar to coffees in that if you vape at high wattage, you're going to burn it.
Yep.
There's a couple that you can use that don't get you that burnt feeling. And the two that I can say straight off the bat is Medicine Flower Dark Chocolate, which is an awesome chocolate. And not many people will have that one because of the buy-in price. Vape Train, and you can vape that 150 watts, no dramas. The Vape Train Dark Chocolate is probably 100 watts, 110 watts, and you start to get that slight burny note to it, but still a lot better than some of the other chocolates that are out there where it tastes like someone set it on fire and thrown it into a tire fire. And
yeah, like even like Liquid Born Lava Cake, the original is you just run that high and it's going to get weird on you.
That might be part of the reason why I've always had trouble with it, because
you're a high.
I always run super low ohms and mechanical mods. So
yeah, I always say your builds are 0.0 none your business.
I have to say that now because I get yelled at every time I tell people the truth. So.
Yeah, that's kind of like when we were talking about using gloves with nicotine. It's kind of the same thing with some of the building.
Yeah, you just have to say it. You have to say it.
Yeah, you hit 0.1, everybody. 0.1. Don't go below 0.1.
Yeah, and only if you're using VTC5As and
Yes.
only if they're below 80 degrees Celsius. There you go.
Yeah.
Just full disclaimer there.
You take 2 pulls, then you take it out and you charge it because you do not want to press that battery. Oh my
But yeah,
God.
Hang Sen Aussie Chocolate's another good one. But again, Steve-O, with that one, you cannot push it into high wattage mode.
No,
It'll
run that 60, 70,
Yeah.
and
you're about at the edge of where it's going to taste good.
And if you want to do
So-
like a cafe mocha or something and you want to use it, now you're down into the 40, 45 range.
You know, this
Yep.
explains so much why the flavors that I liked in 2012
Suck
I
today.
do not like now.
Mhm.
You know, because I was rocking an 11-watt mod in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
and
and-
a two ohm build.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll find that a lot of MTL vapors will rave about chocolates.
I
And
can see it
yeah,
now that I'm.
yeah, and
using
that's the reason why. Because down low they're fantastic, they really are. But if you start pushing that, you get into all sorts of yuck. So you know, if you're going to push high wattage, and look, let's face it, most new vapors don't push high wattage, but you know they're generally around that 50 mark. So feel free to have a couple of chocolates. Some of the chocolates that you'll get a chalky finish on them.
Yeah.
You can
waxy, maybe.
yeah, well,
bit
waxy's
dry.
part of chocolate sort of thing, yeah, but they're a little bit dry and chalky, so you can fix that up with like 0.25 of malted milk and 1.5 of vanilla bean gelato.
Yeah.
Job done. You know,
There you go.
that'll soften out that chalkiness that you get in the chocolates. But again, vape them low, otherwise
Yeah,
you
like a double chocolate clear, which is an
Yep.
old school flavor. That'll get that is dry and chalky, and it's like it's almost like a Nestle Quick powder, like just eating that without.
Yeah, like a spoonful in your mouth. Yeah.
That is dry.
Yeah, so but I mean you can change that chocolate. Getting back to custard, you can throw it in with a custard,
Yeah.
and that'll soften it out a whole lot as well, which is an awesome little thing. In fact, some of the Vape Train chocolates are some of the best chocolates that are around at the moment. They make a very nice chocolate, and surprisingly enough, it doesn't taste like all their other concentrates. There's no banana at it.
Yeah. Even their chocolate, they have a chocolate custard, I believe, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They do.
I think I have that one.
But yeah, there you go, Natalie. The chocolate milk also very good. Try that VT chocolate milk with Real Flavors strawberry milkshake.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
good.
Have a chocolate covered strawberry.
Mm.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, nice little combo there. But, and I happen to know that Fidalgo loves his strawberry milkshake from RF.
I need to see if I can. Isn't it? That's not one of the flavors that discontinued, is it?
The chocolate milkshake is not discontinued.
Oh, was the strawberry milkshake? Is there some or
No, strawberry kiwi is on their discontinued list.
Okay.
But I mean, if you have a hunt round on ELR, I've done a thread there which has all the recipes that Walt released for all the discontinued ones. So if you see a recipe with strawberry kiwi in it, it's pretty easy. It's 50 strawberry, 50 kiwi. He's got combinations. One of the really weird ones, going totally off topic, is the brandy. The brandy, the Real Flavors brandy is made up from Real Flavors bourbon and grape, which I found I found kind of, and it does actually taste like brandy. It's kind of weird, but yes, the chocolate mousse is delicious,
Yes.
and it is also awesome with a little bit of dark chocolate, either medicine flower or VTA, just to push those chocolate notes a little bit more.
Yeah, I've used it with the Vape Train dark chocolate with the chocolate mousse, and
Yeah, it's good. It's good. But yeah, some of those recipes that Walt put out, they just defy belief. You look at them and you go, how the friggin' hell can you mix a brandy? Can you get a brandy from a grape and a bourbon? Yet there it is.
yeah.
And some of them have some concentrates in that you just would not expect to be to come together to make what it actually makes. But yeah, if you hunt round, I think it's under the thread is called Real Flavors Slimming Down the Line or something along those lines. So,
Okay. I'll check that out.
you know,
Oh,
there's
Real
about
Flavors
40 or
aged
so.
virgin cream, aged
Oh,
virgin
mate.
cream.
One of my favorites. Now that is not discontinued.
No, I think I would have to take a ride to Michigan and kidnap them all. Like,
Well, I've got quite a bit of bourbon, and I've also got quite a bit of the aged bourbon cream, and I'm actually going to make the aged bourbon cream because I am pretty sure that it's condensed milk and bourbon.
yeah, Steve-O just put one
sounds
in the
good.
chat here to
Yeah.
all Mullenberry, the chocolate peanut butter milk, which is very, very good. I
So
vape that
sweet.
I like it that way. I'll vape it straight away.
Yeah.
And the legendary custard, I still have to buy more. I'm just about out of it. I got like 2 mils left, if that. And I know I have the white chocolate. I just haven't used it.
See how this sounds good to me. Simple,
Mhm.
clean.
Well, that's
Let's
the thing.
try
You get on the Mullenberry train, and they got some easy ones to work with. Some of them you got to run them a little higher. I mean, you run them like you do like a vape train. Like if you go by their recommended percentages, you're gonna waste a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they like to run
And not get much extra out of it.
No, you don't.
You know, like, you know, I think they recommended on some of them is 8. You know, and you sort of sit there and go, if you run it at 8, you're sort of your 10 ml bottle's gone in one mix.
Yeah.
You sort of sit there going, oh, really?
Yeah, Graham,
But,
the double chocolate V2. I just got that because of one of Folklor's recipes, or as it develops, and I just have to figure out which one it is. I have to go back and look. Yeah, it's weird. They Bull City rebottled it, and usually Capella they do, 15 ml bottle, and they sell you the actual bottle. They rebottled it into a 10 ml, and it charged me, I think, the same price you would for a regular 15. So this stuff must be more expensive.
Bummer. You go to Nick River, mate. They've flicked
Everything's
over to the
15.
15 ml bottles. Yeah.
Yeah,
On
they're
everything.
Still, they're still rebottles, but
Yeah.
oh, that does smell good right off the sniff too. Oh yeah.
CS Blue wants to know: do you make the mixes first to test them and then add nicotine if they're good?
Sometimes.
Personal choice. Sometimes the nicotine will actually help a mix. Like if you're using,
Yes.
a Cat V1, it'll help it. Sometimes it makes no difference whatsoever. So, when it comes down to it, if you like it without nicotine, chances are you'll like it with. But some concentrates need a little bit of oxidization from the nic to actually make it good.
See, for me,
So-
I've tried zeros and I've tried with nicotine, and I know nicotine is flavorless, but it definitely adds.
Yep.
It adds. Something. It does.
Frank's a pussy magnet.
Yeah.
You guys, I got to get out of here. I have to actually get ready
Yeah,
to go.
dude.
We're going out and it's our anniversary's coming up on the 10th, so we're gonna go out and go bar hopping
Congratulations.
tonight.
Yeah. Be
Yeah, thank
careful.
you.
Yeah. Be careful.
Cheers, Trav. Have fun, mate.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for having me, Frank, and we'll see you
You
soon.
betcha. You doing a show tomorrow?
Cheers, brother.
I'll be there. Yeah.
All right. Cool. See ya.
All right.
Awesome.
See you.
See you then. And then there were 2.
Yeah.
How long we've been going for? We're just chatting away. I don't even have any.
2 hours.
Oh, well, maybe we should probably wind it up.
We're gonna wrap this up. We've outlasted everybody else.
Yeah, there's no one left watching. We're just
no.
talking amongst ourselves.
Just hell, we've got 32 people watching.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's all right.
We're doing good. But yeah, we're gonna wrap.
Talked
this
about
up.
everything but what we were going to talk about. But
I knew it was gonna happen. I
it
tried.
always happens, mate.
I tried. It was,
just set the topic for next week. Random shit. We're going to talk about flavors and stuff.
yeah. Well, it was great. It was great to have Travis on and say it's something we've been working on, trying to get the schedules right. And like he was going to come on last weekend, but then he had a work thing he had to do, and he was like, absolutely. And it was earlier today. I'm like, who was it that said they were absolutely going to come on this week? And I'm like, oh yeah, it was Travis. And I message him. I'm like, so are you still in? He goes, yeah, send me the link. I'm like, good.
Good.
I think I'm gonna, before I even go to bed tonight. I think I'm gonna mix a couple of the Custard Slut in that now.
Yeah, Custard Slut, it rocks, mate. I accidentally filled my tank during the show with the wrong juice, and now I've got toilet water in my Custard Slut tank. So,
Oh, whoops.
but so I'll have to re-wick that bugger afterwards. But yeah, no stress. Just one other thing I was going to mention.
Yeah.
If anyone has noticed, there's been a couple new concentrates pop up from Vape Train. If you like candy raspberry, you need to get the Red Chew candy. It rocks.
I wonder if they have that over here yet.
Dunno. The day it hit the store, I'd already been recommended it from Luke Loop. So the day it hit the store, I just bought a big bottle.
There you go.
I'm like, nah, I'm all over that shit. I'm into it. So I've been playing with that. It bloody rocks. Night for Algo. Have a good one, buddy.
And I did see the picture for tomorrow's Mix and Mixins. It's like a mint chocolate ice cream. Mint chocolate chip.
Oh, okay. I did one a few weeks ago. What is? How come? And I don't understand, because we all don't talk about what recipes we're mixing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we don't all of a sudden all say, let's mix a mango.
Yeah.
And for some reason, there seems to be a ton of mango recipes released. Then there's a ton of chocolate mint recipes released. It's kind of weird.
It's like one person does one, and then everyone's like, "Oh, you know what? I've been meaning to do that." Now they get motivated.
Yeah. It's really quite strange, because we seem to be moving off the mango now and going to the choc mint and stuff like that. So, just to draw it back to mango, because I love mango, I think I'll do a choc mint mango.
Oh. It could
Just for something
work,
different. I don't know. Who knows?
Collective conscious. It's
Yeah, you're right, Graham.
You're right.
It's quite bizarre, but funny.
Oh, this cat is gnawing on my finger.
I think we probably wind this up and.
Yeah, tomorrow you got the Vixens. You have the Omen.
Then we got Tam.
Yeah, at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
You have.
And.
Then Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, I'm hopeless.
Yeah.
Monday night we got the Omets, now known as the flavour. I can't remember, but I'm on that.
Omets and Friends.
Yep.
And then
we'll call it that, because we can't remember.
And then you have Monday night you have Noted. Tuesday you have Developed, and you have Fresh from the Kitchen, basically Fresh from Concentrate. Him and Lumi, and I don't know if Hesh is going to be on like he was Friday night or not. I'm going to get Hesh on one of these shows, but
that'd be good.
I'm not sure if Fresh snatched him up and he's going to be exclusive over there or not.
Mine. And guys, if you know new mixers, mate, point them at Mike's Facebook page, the Mixers Helping Mixers.
Yes.
If you are a mixer and want to help people, please drop us a line. The idea is that you basically get if you're an established mixer or you know how to mix, been doing it for a little while, you'll get someone to basically mentor, teach them to be safe, teach them to play with flavors and nicotine safely.
Yes.
So, feel free to drop that link to anyone you knew who's coming into the game, particularly those guys who are suffering from flavor bans and whatnot.
Yeah, like Hesh is from Massachusetts, and JFM, I'm sure he's probably gonna have people to help in Rhode Island. And now we got Washington, you got Oregon.
Yeah. So look, I mean, spread it around. We'll grow it. We'll try and get everyone doing stuff safely. And Fidalgo, you need to be in that group too, buddy. You can mix.
Yeah. So you can help out some people. Don't be selfish.
Yep.
Don't be stingy.
Yep. So look, I mean, it's not a huge commitment or anything like that. It's pretty much answering questions as they come along and giving them the right answer. And that means gloves.
Yeah.
The right answer being not necessarily what you do, but what should be done. But
Yes, Florida. We're keeping an eye on Florida to make sure that that flavor ban does not get hidden in the T21 bill.
well, yeah, flavors in Florida. There's a few that are touting it, but I'm not sure it's going to go that way. They're not a signatory to the MSA, so they've got their own.
They cut their own deal with the tobacco companies years ago.
So yeah, look, with any luck, hopefully the what's going to start happening now is the pushback's going to start changing all those states with flavor bans back to non-flavor ban states. So
it's going to happen now. New York's got their,
well, it's not done. It's not done yet.
No,
not done yet.
They get the, the injunction.
Yep, got his hand burnt, and
he had a rough week.
He did. Geez, I feel sorry for him. Not.
Yeah, just a little bit. The old lady leaving him, and then we took his toy away from him for now. And
yeah, suck it up, princess. Deal with it.
Exactly.
But she's probably a vapor, mate, and wanted to vape flavors.
I just said she just wanted somebody with a set of nuts and integrity.
Yeah. Well, yeah, integrity more so than anything else.
Yeah.
But anyway, mate, it's been fun.
Yeah, you bet, Simon. Appreciate it.
Everyone out in chat, thanks for showing us some support and coming by. Feel free to drop links next week, and we'll bore you again with talk of shit that isn't on the cards.
That's right. We'll go off the rails, and we'll try to find our way back. If not, we'll just talk about chlamydia. All right, guys. Much love to everybody. Thank you all for coming out.
Cheers, guys.
Have a good rest of your weekend.
See y'all.
See you, everybody.